So shoppers here in the United States are furious over many companies simply because of their return policies. Now, I warned you about this many months ago. I said it was coming, that all these retailers, these are places like Walmart, Target, even Amazon, are not just accepting every single return that you bring back or attempt to send them. They are rejecting some, and now shoppers are furious because they're actually implementing restocking fees. Now I'm going to break all this down, explain why this is happening, but at the same time, you need to understand this is the new reality of the way we shop. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. You know, it's crazy to think that just a year or 2 years ago, we could buy anything off of Amazon. If we didn't like it for whatever reason, we could send it right back. And no questions were asked, we'd get a 100% refund. Well, that's not happening anymore. Look at this. It says shoppers fight back as retailers crack down on returns. It says consumers are reading the fine print of return policies, and some have stopped buying altogether from retailers that charge for returns. Here's the crazy part. Walmart, Target, Amazon, Macy's, Saks Fifth Avenue. The list goes on and on. All these stores, you could potentially be charged to return an item. Just listen to this. I want to play you this clip. Listen to this and then we'll discuss.
With the record-breaking holiday shopping season comes the season of making returns.
My biggest issue with Aritzia is their darn return policy.
And the new reality that this year it may cost you.
Amazon e-return policy is banana. You might get charged a restocking fee, you might get a partial refund, or you might get zero refund.
An estimated 40% of retailers now charge return shipping fees, ranging from $5 to $10 per shipment from brands like Zara, H&M, Abercrombie & Fitch, J. Crew, Macy's, and Saks Fifth Avenue.
Now, we're going to continue to watch a little bit more of this, but I want to read a comment. This is a comment that I received this morning. This person wrote to me and said, and I quote, Amazon just charged me a 10% restocking fee saying that my item didn't come back in its original condition. I bought a used like new camera for my husband, but it came in a generic box, so I returned it and will buy a new one that comes with the box as well. Well, that was until Amazon decided to take $80 for restocking the item due to them mispresenting the item itself. That's what somebody said. Well, so just to put this into perspective, somebody bought a used like new item. I do this all the time, where the item in most cases is brand new, never been used, but it doesn't come with the box. This person bought a used like new item thinking it came with the box. It didn't. So they returned it, hoping that they get all their money back and they just buy a new one that comes with the original box. Well, that makes sense, but Amazon decided to take a 10% restocking fee. So the item, I guess, was $800 and Amazon took $80 of it back. Well, listen to this. This person responded with this. One person responded with, and I quote, if you think that is bad, I tried to return an Amazon Echo because the box was all wet from being left on my front porch, and they said that it would be a 20% restocking fee. My guess is the item itself is damaged, and they are still trying to charge me. Yeah, it doesn't matter who the retailer is. Now, I personally love buying stuff off Amazon, and because I live close to a UPS facility, I don't have to pay the dollar. So if you go to take your item to a UPS facility for a return, if you live closer to like Amazon Fresh, you live closer to like a Kohl's, you got to take your items there for the return. I don't live closer to those. I live close to the UPS facility, so I can just drop it off there and then they take it. But let's keep listening to this because, again, right now, many retailers are feeling the backlash because customers are tired of this. Let's keep listening.
Amazon charges a $1 shipping fee if you return at a UPS store when options like Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, or Kohl's are closer to your delivery address.
Retailers are charging more return fees because it's very expensive for retailers not only to send the product to customers, but also pay the fees when it comes to returning that product.
Now, I want to jump in here really quick because as an Amazon seller myself, so I know most people don't know that, but I do sell a lot of products on Amazon. Now, as an Amazon seller, I probably spend thousands and thousands of dollars every single year. Or I don't spend, but it comes out of my profit, comes out of my business, because we are having to spend money to have an item returned. Okay? So in essence, it's costing us money as sellers. So in order to remain profitable, we have to increase our prices elsewhere in order to account for certain items that get returned far more than others. For example, as a shoe seller, if an item comes back and then it's used, well, I can't sell it as new. Or it comes back, it's used, it's worn, it didn't fit, doesn't have the box. I can't sell that as brand new. So then I lose money. So again, this is why retailers are doing this at this time, is they're trying to remain profitable, but by remaining profitable, it's also pushing prices up and hurting the end consumer. Let's keep listening.
The fees are part of a broader crackdown from retailers, who can spend an average of $30 to process a single returned item. The National Retail Federation telling us with more than $743 billion in merchandise returned in 2023, merchants and brands are prioritizing efforts to minimize losses from returns, particularly those that are fraudulent.
Now, I want to jump in on this one too, because one of the things that I've experienced as an Amazon seller is I send an item to Amazon. I do fulfillment by Amazon. It's called Amazon FBA. But one of the things that they do is when the item sells, they ship it off to the customer, right, who purchased it. But then the problem is if the customer returns it for whatever reason, sometimes I never get the product. It goes right back to Amazon. Amazon scans it in. It gets put back on their shelf, and somebody else can then go and buy it. Here's the issue I have, especially as a shoe seller. I sell a shoe. Let's say it's a size 10.5, right? 10.5 Nike shoe, whatever it sells. Comes back, it's returned. I never see the product. Well, here's what's been happening, especially, and it happened a lot, a couple years ago. It's not happening as much anymore, but what happens is customers put in an old shoe. Okay, it's still a shoe. The Amazon employee would not know the difference, but it's still a shoe, still Nike. Maybe it's not the same color, maybe it's not the same size, whatever it may be, but they put it in the box, ship it back. I don't know the difference. So the item keeps getting sold, keeps getting returned, and we don't know why. Well, that's part of the issue. Fraudulent returns are causing many issues and increasing the cost both for Amazon, but for sellers as well. But this goes on for Walmart, for Target, for Costco. The list seriously goes on and on. Now, I want to show you this. It says online sales are booming and the return wars have begun. We are seeing that you go to certain stores like a Walmart. Walmart will reject certain returns. I was at a Walmart, it hasn't been recent. It's been over a year or so ago. And Walmart did not take a return from a customer because the receipt was wet. Not because they couldn't read it, but because the receipt was wet. That was it. It was raining outside. It was pouring outside. But it was because it was wet. Yeah, that's what's happening. Look at this. Retailers like REI and Target are cracking down on serial returners. If people constantly come in, buy an item, they wear it, they don't like it, for whatever reason, then return it. No big deal. But you do this every single week, multiple times a week, where you come into REI, you buy the latest stuff, you put it on, you go hiking, you go outdoors, you do all this, these great activities, and you come back and yeah, it didn't really fit. I didn't like it. It's not exactly what I wanted. They're going to stop accepting returns, and you'll be forced to keep it. Yeah, it's becoming an issue. Now listen to this one. Here's another comment I received. This person wrote to me. This is another one this morning or last night. This person writes and says this, and I quote, "I was just hit with a restocking fee for a pool item that I purchased. The retailer said that due to the item being outside of its season, there is a restocking fee of $15. For a $200 item, this is outright robbery. So $200, they paid $30 as a restocking fee. Now, I don't know what they purchased, and they didn't write who they purchased it from, whether it's Amazon or Walmart or whoever, but they say because it's outside of its season. It's a pool toy, pool item, whatever. There is a restocking fee of 15%. Think about that for a second. What if you purchase an item that's outside of its season? So like you purchase a barbecue, right? And you just didn't want it. You purchased the cleaner, the little scrapers or whatever, right? For a barbecue. The barbecue season is like spring, summer, kind of fall, not really winter. Would that right there be subject to a 15% restocking fee? Or you get a bathing suit, right? Which is a summer item, right? I don't know. That's just what I think is interesting. But I wanted to share this with you because right now, many shoppers are absolutely furious that they did not understand or realize that all these stores are now charging fees for shipping, for restocking, not having an item come back in its original packaging. All these things are now subject to fees. So just want to share that with you, especially as we're getting into this holiday shopping season. Make sure you are protecting yourself. Buy from a reputable retailer, but also if you can buy local, do that as well, because that right there may save you a lot of money. So I will leave you with that, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.